This video is important, and remember they're changing my voice. So, Melissa Hortman and her husband were shot dead in a separate incident. Another Democratic official, John Hoffman, and his wife were injured. So first of all, I call for peaceful debates, a ceasefire between the right and the left. I'm saddened that a lot of liberals have faced a lot of hardship and stress, and that Republicans, conservatives, they feel like they should harm liberals. Okay, and obviously there's some people on the left who aren't so liberal, right? Being liberal means open-minded for individual rights. That's different than being a lunatic or someone who just wants to commit senseless violence. Okay, so there's some leftists who aren't right in the head. There's fanatics from various forms, various races and sexual orientations, and they need to stop doing what they're doing. People need to have peaceful and logical debates. Rigorous intellectual discourse must take place. This needs to happen as soon as possible. People need to push for my logical 7-point plan. There's a difference between someone who's a mass murderer like Adolf Hitler, when his own officers tried to kill him on numerous occasions. That is logical. The person was a mass murderer, was operating with impunity. He was a lunatic. There's a difference between that and targeting common politicians. And I don't say that to insult them. I say that to kind of clarify. There's a lot of governors, a lot of state assembly people out there, a lot of mayors, a lot of congressmen, okay? It's stupid to think that it's a good idea to kill them and that magically, you'll have done something important or something. There's many businessmen who are more guilty of the crimes against humanity than they are. So I'm going to go ahead and have just a few seconds of a moment of silence here for these people who were killed. Okay. So again, there's wordplay here, like there usually is in these major events. Melissa Hortman, right? I used to have a friend, my best friend, his name used to be Horton, right? Daniel Horton from Carton School, okay? But what first came to mind was Hurt Man, right? The son of man, me, okay? Her and hurt. Her heart and hurt. Okay, and who's doing it? Well, there's white supremacists with money, Jewish supremacists with money, LGBT supremacists with money, and they work with the government. The government helps cover up for these things. I know a lot of you don't want this to be said, but I tell the truth. And they know that it's hurtful to commit senseless violence. It hurts people. But more specifically, they like that people are hurting me. In fact, my Christian name is John, and John Hoffman was one of these people who were killed. Actually, my Christian name is Jesus. My legal Christian name is John. I am the Messiah. See my Proof from Christ playlist. The miracles are figurative. I'm the son of 2 doctors, one a brain surgeon. I say that so that you know that you should take me seriously. I'm not some crazy person on the street ranting and raving. I have a college education. More importantly, I'm the top martial artist ever possible. Marshall is marital scrambled, and I, Christ, am the bridegroom, the bridge room, the way to connect to heaven. And all these satanic cults in Hollywood and the government and the corporations, you name it. Satanism, witchcraft is very popular these days. Very, very popular to be openly a witch. Okay, they aim their spells at the foundation, the found alpha shun. The foundation of witchcraft, source Aries, which goes back to Haro Aries of Egypt, the falcon son of God. Okay, the Christians depicted him as Christ. Now, if you look at the history of religions and the migrations of religions and where Rome is compared to Egypt, it's crystal clear that they were very familiar with the idea of horse. The word horse is not in the Bible. The falcon, or rather the hawk spreading its wings by God's wisdom in Job, is in the Bible. And Babylon becoming a haunt of jackals is in the Bible. Right? The jackal, the symbol of Set, one of his symbols is basically his main form. And the hawk and the falcon, the main forms of horse. Faster and Master the Falcon dives at 242 miles an hour. And a bunch of Satanists want to try to con me. That's the word falcon. Fall, con. And diving and divine. And soar is like spar. Spar it's spirit. To spear something. Spear fishing, the great fisherman. Christ in the story. And fishing with the disciples. The disc. Discipline. Disc. Disciple. Disc. The solar disc. The sun boat. The sun. Star and spar and soar are connected. S-O-A-R. Jehovah, God, hovers. To hover, hover. They do these kind of word plays out there. And it extends into popular culture. With various words, gangsta and gangster and so on and so forth. Once you get to this point in the video, you should have no doubt in your mind that I'm more honest than everyone you've ever come across on YouTube. No doubt in your mind. A lot of them might have been more honest if they weren't controlled opposition, if they didn't have a white or Jewish supremacist imperative or token minority imperative, so they leave things out. I don't even have many viewers. As far as I can tell, I'm being screened out. It is not cool to commit violent acts against me, to fume me and poison me. Peaceful debate and pushing for the war on poverty plan with billboards, with banners, with signs on your social media. That 7-point plan, it's an easy to understand 7-point plan that is superior to any economic plan that I've ever come across in my years and years of research in college, on the internet, anywhere, ever. Dr. Thomas Sowell, an economics professor at Harvard or Yale, does not have a better economic plan for this society than I do. Much less my global farming program plan, which would end world hunger. And it's very affordable. So keep in mind the economy is expanding, and the top half in America have $162 trillion or so in liquid wealth and assets. Think about all the developed nations in the world. For a mere $500 billion a year, we should be able to end world hunger with a farming program. Again, farming. The first year, probably another $500 billion for aid to get food to them as quick as possible. But after that, the crops should start coming in, and the massive farming program should end world hunger. We can end world hunger together. The dream of so many young people when they write in their yearbooks and they speak on it for the yearbook, so many people. We can achieve it together. We can end homelessness in America and feed people in America here with my war on poverty plan, 7-point plan. My healthcare analysis plan, we can easily cause a massive reformation in the healthcare sector, including pharmaceutical drugs, painkillers, psychiatric medications. 1 in 5 Americans are on psych meds. Is that really right? And we can make healthcare affordable, make people more healthy, reduce the burden on the healthcare system, thus reducing the demand and reducing the cost and making sure the price gouging stops at every point where we need a massive analysis to see how we can do that effectively. Something that takes quite a bit of people because there's a lot to it. There's drugs, there's hospitals, there's laboratories, there's different equipment. We need a thorough analysis, requires experts and a lot of them and a lot of people in general. But we can easily do this. Don't let these people be attacked in vain. Don't let the governing class use this to take away your rights when you have a right to fair treatment, fair economic treatment, social treatment, political treatment. You have a right to that. The homeless have a right to housing in the wealthiest country in the world. And because the developed nations have exploited the underdeveloped nations, everyone on this planet has a right to housing and to nutrition, to food. Stop letting evil people laugh at you and your families while you suffer and struggle. Stop being afraid of them and be afraid of God's judgment when you follow them. And if you're not religious, be afraid of being an immoral, inhuman mess who follows these horrible people that massacre people. 9 million people starve to death every year. 3 million of them children. They massacre people with all kinds of preventable deaths. Communicable and non-communicable diseases and other preventable death-relating ideas. Thank you. Preventable death-related ideas. Thank you.